Hi Tribers, it's Rita Uzoma Okolo, your favorite girl, and welcome to my YouTube channel where I talk about love, life, career, faith, scholarships, and everything in between. Today, we're going to be going straight into the gist. I don't want my videos to be too long. I want to keep you guys as engaged as possible. So today, we're going to be doing Chevening, and we're going to be talking about your career essay. So they're like you have less than 5 weeks, actually I think 4 weeks and 3 days if I'm not mistaken, to the end of the Chevening application cycle for this year. Unfortunately, the application cycle this year is shorter than it normally is. It's shorter, so we have a month and 3 days. So today I'm going to be telling you exactly how to write your career plan essay. For the career plan, Chevening is basically looking for individuals who have their career plan mapped out, who know exactly what it is they want to do in the future. Now, this is not to say that it must be so clear, like, not that it must be so clear, that you must have your whole life till when you die figured out. But at the very least, you should have a good idea of what career path it is you want to take, in what niche, what's your short-term plan, what's your long-term plan. You must know exactly what it is you want to do with your life. We know that plans change over time. We know that plans can improve or can be modified over time. But there has to be that rough draft, right? There has to be something you're working on to modify or change. That's what Chevening wants to see. Now, your career plan essay is divided into, let me say, 3 parts. Like every essay is your introduction, your body, and your conclusion. Your introduction is you basically pointing out, the reason why it is you want to study in that line anyway. For my own career plan essay, I remember writing something about women, their right to economic inclusion in Nigeria so far. I gave a little bit of just like a line of statistics from, I think, UNESCO, and then I spoke about like what my motivation was, like that's what motivated me into this career path in law anyways. And then that was my introduction. Excuse me. That was my introduction, and I just went straight into my body. Now, you want to be very careful. You have to have, normally it is advised that your body be divided into 3 major paragraphs, showing your short-term goals, showing your intermediate goals or your medium-term goals, and your long-term plans. Now, your short-term goals are usually, what you intend to do immediately you return from the UK after your master's degree, after your studies. Immediately you return, say between 3 months to 1 year, 6 months after you return. What is it that you plan to do? Do you plan to begin hosting seminars, conferences, symposiums, sharing information, enlightening people on what exactly it is you're doing? If you're into climate change, for instance, do you plan to start hosting symposiums, gather a social media following, stuff like that? If you have an NGO, do you plan to continue your non-profit? If you don't have one, do you plan to start one? Do you plan to found an NGO when you return? So these are like your immediate plans. What is it that you plan to do immediately you come back from the United Kingdom? It could be a myriad of things. You're not limited to any one thing. It could be, when I come back, I want to get a new job, for instance. Maybe I resigned from my former place of work. I want to get a new job into so and so. Now, what I would emphasize for this essay, as the same thing I would emphasize for the networking essay, which video I'll make very soon, is specificity. Yeah, specificity. So being super specific, super pragmatic about your plans, very practical, and being very particular. So you don't want to give us vague things like, I'll start going to conferences randomly, I'll start doing. No, you want to explain exactly what it is you're going to be doing when you come back. If you're going to get a new job, where are you getting it? Is he in the United Nations? Is he in a law firm? Is he in a particular company? That means there has to be a company you have been eyeing since, that you knew that without this master's degree, they're not going to look my face. Do you understand? But now I've gotten a master's degree, so I have a very good chance, I have a better chance of going or getting into that company. Then you tell us that, okay, no, not us, you tell Chevening. You tell Chevening that, not me. You tell Chevening that, oh, I've been looking to work in Procter & Gamble for like forever, but one of their minimum requirements is a master's degree. I'm looking to work there because they are the best in producing drugs that cure cancer, and cancer is my field. I want to know how the production of drugs is done. So when I come back from the UK, the first thing I'm doing is I'm going to Procter & Gamble to apply. See, it now makes sense because you've now linked it to, oh, why you're even taking the masters in the first place. So there has to be a link between every single goal, or like every career goal or plan you have, as to and Chevening. What has Chevening got to do with it? Why didn't you just go ahead and apply to Procter & Gamble even without getting the scholarship, right? So there has to be modules. That is why I said in my last video that there's always a connect. So even with your studying in the UK essay, that means there's a connect now. You've connected the modules you probably went to study with what it would give you, and how that is the expertise required by probably the company you want to join, or probably it is the expertise you require to start your own NGO, or it is the expertise you require to undertake sensitization symposiums and programs and conferences on that particular topic or thematic area. So you're linking everything. There is always a link. Don't just write haphazardly. Don't just write out of the blues. See what I want to go and study. This is why I want to study it in the first place. When I study it, see what I would gain. You've written that in your studying in the UK. So now you're coming to tell us, oh, now that I have gained these skills in the UK, I've studied this thing, I've gained it. When immediately I come back, see how I will employ those skills. See how I will utilize those skills. I will found my NGO. I will do this. I will do that. And if I had not gotten this master's with Chevening, I wouldn't have been able to learn so and so, and I wouldn't have been able to join this. So this is why this is the first thing I want to do immediately I come back from the UK, because now I am now armed with the necessary skills. I am armed with the necessary qualifications. I'm armed with the necessary network that I need to gain entry into this office, into this organization, into this field, into this. I now have access. So Chevening has now given you access into all these places. So this is one of the ways in which you can play it, right? There is no one size fits all, but at the same time, there are principles to follow. After your immediate plans, when you return from the UK, there is your intermediate plans or your medium-term plans or goals. So these occur between 1 to 3 to say 5 years after your return. But let me say 3 to 5 years after your return. What do you plan to do? What is it that you plan to do? If you're a non-profit owner, do you plan to expand the niche of your non-profit from, say, a regional or a community-based non-profit to, say, a global, a national, an international, a global non-profit? If so, how? Don't forget to include the hows. Chevening is very particular. How? Don't just tell us I want to do this. Everyone is mouthed. See me, if I tell you what I want to do, Jesus. Hey, if I tell you, when you say, "Nay, calm down with your ambitions." But how? Are your goals smart? Are they specific? Are they measurable? Are they attainable? Are they realistic? These are your goals, your career goals or your career plans have to be smart. They have to be measurable. They have to be very specific. That's why I mentioned specificity when I started. They have to be very attainable. They have to be realistic. Don't go and be saying something like, oh, for instance, you're in the legal field. You say, I want to become the Director General of World Health Organization. If there's nothing in your life you have done is related to health, nothing you don't have any skill in that thematic area, nothing, you've not built capacity in any way, but you want to become, how? It's not going to work. So you want to show what, you want to show when, you want to show the how, and you want to show where. For networking essay, of course, you want to show where, but in your career plan, your what do you want to do, your when do you want to do it, how long is it immediately I come back, is it a medium term, and your how is it gonna happen. is super, super important, because if you leave this out of your essay, imagine now that you are a reviewer. Just imagine yourself in the position of a reviewer. You are reviewing a Chevening essay, and you have a lot of questions in your mind. Oh, this person wants to do this. How does this person hope to attain this? It automatically prejudices your mind. In fact, you start reducing marks. Like, this person didn't tell me how, so you want to do it how? Or somebody says, oh, okay, it's most probable for most candidates to give the what. I want to do this. That is what you want to do. But they don't tell you when they want to do it. They don't tell you how they want to do it. It prejudices your mind and reduces the person's score. So put yourself in the shoes of that examiner when you write. You don't want to leave too many questions on. In fact, you don't want, if possible, cover all your loopholes. You don't want to leave any question unanswered. Answer all the questions in your essay so that they are so interested, and their interest is so piqued that they are calling you for the interview to know more about you. To say, okay, you wrote this in your essay, please, how? Tell us more. We know we gave you only 500 words. Expand. Let us now know how. Let us know more about you. We're interested in spending money on you. Okay? So now I've spoken about your intermediate plans or your medium-term goals. I want to do this in the medium term, something that is not feasible to do immediately you come back. But in time, you would have built more capacity to do it. Let me give an example with my essay. In my medium-term essay goal, for my medium-term goals in my career plan essay, I mentioned that I was going to change URIO. URIO is my non-profit, by the way, where I focus on female women and women's rights advancement, economic inclusion, economic empowerment of women, their financial independence, their career growth and development. That's the goal of URIO, okay? And I mentioned that for now, I had only been operating URIO in Imo State, Owerri. I was only operating URIO within my community, within my space, with a few things here and there outside. But I mentioned that in due time, I will expand URIO's niche, and I'm glad to say it's already happening. Even before I'm done with my master's, it's already happening. URIO is already expanding to other states. We're now in Port Harcourt. Very soon we'll be in major geographical locations like Lagos and Abuja. Very soon URIO will be a global name, a global brand. That is what I said I wanted to make it in my career plan essay, and it's happening. So make sure your goals are smart, they're specific, they're measurable, they're attainable, and they're realistic. Make sure that they hit on a specific theme. Make sure, don't leave holes for your essay reviewer to come and asking questions. So that's just an example of what your medium-term goals should look like. So now apply it to your field. And finally, we have your long-term goals. Don't have any reservations about being ambitious about your long-term goals. Go all out. Be ambitious. Because honestly, you can do anything. You can be anything. Go all out. Be ambitious. I want to go to the Supreme Court. I want to be the Director General of I don't know, I want to be the Director General of World Trade Organization. I want to do this. Don't limit yourself. Don't play small. Show them you have a big mind. That big thing. I want to be the President of Nigeria. But again, as you're telling them you want to be the president, remember to add how. I want to go into the legislature so I can draft policies and change laws bordering or pertaining to women's rights in Nigeria. I want to go into the Supreme Court so that I can, be part of the system interpreting laws. Giving a pragmatic and dogmatic and, an interpretation to women's rights through laws, making them more compliant with the ever-changing, narrative, making them more contemporary to suit the issues that women go through today. So that is it for me. I don't know what it is for you. So make sure that your long-term goals are not just ambitious, but you show us how you intend to get there. Another thing I always emphasize is show the link. From the beginning to the end of your essays, show us a link. How does this thing link? When I return from the UK, let me just give a random example. When I return from the UK, I will enter this office, maybe an office in Lagos or an office in Abuja you've always looked forward to. I will gain entry into Shell. I'll gain entry into, say, Aluko Anoye Bode or Olaniwa Ajayi law firm, because they are the best in human rights. SP Ajibade and Co. Because they are the best in human rights law. They are they are focused. They know what they are doing. I will gain all the required expertise. When I leave Aluko in 3 to 5 years, or even if I don't leave Aluko, in 3 to 5 years, I would have become a senior associate, or I would have become a partner. Then I will have more leeway into I would have developed so and so competencies. In this time too, in 3 to 5 years, I'm also developing competencies with my non-profits, URIO, or I'm also building capacity with this. I'm expanding it into so and so. So it's giving me insight into even more problems faced by women in so and so areas. Finally, my long-term goals. By the time I'm doing all these things, by now I would have attained over 10 years in legal practice. And what is required for me to go into the judiciary is 10 years of legal practice. By this time, I would have attained that 10 years. So now I am armed with the time. I now have the 10 years I require. I now have the skills I require because of my practice in SP Ajibade or which other law firm. And I now also have the cases I require. Because to be a justice in Nigeria, a judge in Nigeria, you require a specific number of cases in specific courts. I now have all the cases I require. Now I am fully armed for my long-term goal. So it's easy for me to achieve them. And all this is thanks to what? Chevening. So in your conclusion, you're coming to say all this would not have been possible if Chevening did not give me this opportunity. So because of Chevening, I'll be able to develop so and so, and I'll be able to make global impact or national impact, or I'll be able to build a network and do so and so, or because of Chevening, I'll be able to have so and so access. Always link Chevening. So that's it for your career plan essay. It's not that difficult. Once you know what it is you want to do, linking the threads of your essay will be as simple as ABC. I hope. Anyway, I hope this video was I said I was going to work to make this video shorter than my last 2 videos. Please, you know what to do. Subscribe, tell all your friends, like my videos, I don't know, share with everyone, prospective Cheveners, even people that don't want to apply to Chevening. For other scholarships, these tips might also help. Don't forget, close every loophole, all the hows. Ask yourself when you're writing your essay, what? Have I answered what? Have I answered when? Have I answered how? And have I answered where? If you have, then the probability or the chances, and you use the STAR approach, the chances that you have a very good and a winning Chevening essay is very high. Remember, all these are my views and do not form the views or the opinions of the FCDO, Foreign and Commonwealth Development Office, or Chevening itself. Please always research on your own, and you can do this at www.chevening.org. They have all the information you need, everything you need on every essay, and for interviews, everything you need to apply for the scholarship is on the website. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.